Hello and assalamu alaikum. Today we're gonna look at promotion and status training and other stuff that has been left out of the non-financial motivators part. Before we discussed in the last video about our non-financial motivators, and we also talked about job redesign as well as the non-monetary financial rewards like fringe benefits and perks. So without further ado, let's begin today's lecture. Promotion and status. Promoting an employee to a more senior position is likely to motivate them. Herzberg classified advancement as a form of intrinsic motor. So yeah, if you provide that, there will be some. It is more likely that your employee will be motivated. So promotion is a good thing if you want for some non-financial rewards, and it is only possible like you can just promote your employee to a supervisory position. Employees can be given opportunities of promotion if there are more supervision opportunities. So if there are supervision opportunities, then businesses can just use those opportunities, provide employees with supervisory roles where their esteem needs could also be satisfied as well as their self-actualization needs. Maybe they are more of a leader or something, they've got a hidden leader in them, so they can realize that potential as well. That's all about promotion. Now let's talk about status. Granting someone higher status may motivate them by fulfilling their self-esteem needs, Maslow's higher order needs. It can be fulfilled by giving them their own office of parking space, etc. So, if you provide them with their own office of parking space, stuff like that, it's likely to motivate them as they feel that have a higher status in the business, and they feel like being a greater part of the business. However, most businesses have ended discriminating between employees and provide similar facilities for everyone. There's a policy, you can say, it's called diversity and equality policy. They have ended discriminating between employees, so basically you just can't give one employee their own office of parking space while others just have to use some other parking space, or they don't have their own personal office. So that is discrimination. Maybe perhaps it could be discrimination, so you can't just do that. There are more policies nowadays that discrimination should be ended, so because of that you can't fulfill the status part. Is not too much good of a non-financial motivator. Promotion, however, is appropriate and it is effective as well. It might help you find a great leader inside of you. So if there are supervision opportunities available, then a business is more likely to go for promoting their employees who have that particular talent for supervision. Training. So we're going to talk more about training basically in HRM chapter, where there's a whole topic of training, why training is important. So the importance of training we'll talk about there. So what is training basically? Managers value training because they believe it improves employee motivation and performance. They believe that training helps to motivate employees because they feel valued by the business, and this fulfills what Maslow could have called their esteem needs. So it is in line with Maslow's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that higher order needs. There are some higher order needs, so such needs can be fulfilled by training as well. If you improve your skills, you will feel you improve your skills. You know that employers are investing on you, they're providing you with training, so you will feel more part of that business. You'll feel it like it's a family, and it helps you to motivate them. You want to return that favor, so you try to work hard, you increase your productivity, so that motivates you a lot, and it boosts employee motivation and performance, basically training. However, it can be very expensive, especially if it takes place away from the workplace. Training also, there are basically three types of training: induction training, and off-the-job training, and on-the-job training. Induction training is for new employees. Off-the-job is basically away from the workplace, which is being classified it's more expensive, while on-the-job is basically on the workplace, where you just look at other people working and there's an instruction or something like that. There's also a danger of poaching. Poaching basically is an A2 term, but you can use A2 terms in AS as well. So it's just a small term and it's not too complicated, so I've written it over here as well, that employees may leave once they acquire new skills and higher level of motivation, attracted by a higher pay elsewhere. So if employees have gained these new skills from training, they might just leave the business and find a better job, a higher pay somewhere. So that could be a little risky for businesses because it takes a lot of investment in training. Employees may receive induction training. So we just talked about induction training. Induction training is basically a type of training for new employees to introduce them to their job and working conditions. It can give employees confidence in their abilities to do a job from the outset. Hence, it may motivate them and boost their performance. That's the whole idea behind the induction training. That if you have induction training is basically for new employees, you introduce them to the business, the working environment, and it gives them confidence in their abilities that okay, I can also do this job. I get a better understanding of what this job basically is, and it motivates them and boosts their performance. Also get them used to the environment and all, to how what the environment is basically. Next we have empowerment. Empowerment is basically giving authority to employees to take part in decision making, a form of delegation to have more control over the business or their working lives. This is a type of motivation, non-financial motivation of course. Basically you are just delegated more authority, more control, perhaps over the business decision making or your own lives, like flexible working time, and you can take your breaks anytime you want. That's basically a form of empowerment. What are the advantages or like importance of it? Empowerment gives employees the opportunity to decide how to carry out their duties and how to organize their work. You are just given authority over what time you want to work. You're given authority over what is your break time, how much work will you do, and stuff like that. So it gives you the power, you the responsibility of organizing your own work yourself. You're not just told to do okay, you have to work so and so hour at so work, so much work. No, you just have that responsibility, the duty. Now you're just delegated that authority to have control over your own life, over your responsibility. You have been delegated control over your business job, basically how what timing you do you want to work, how do you want to work. So it gives them the opportunity to decide what they want. Empowered workers can propose and implement new methods of working as they bring a new perspective to decision making. So if they are given a share on decision making, they are given some they are allowed to give their opinions, honest opinions about the business matters. Then they might be give some new advices that might be beneficial for the business. They might tell you about some different perspective, give you overall a new perspective to decision making. If they have like a very innovative thinking process, so it could be beneficial. However, it takes time to implement empowering, and employees need to be trained before they can be empowered. So if they don't know about their job, if they don't even know how can they do it themselves and stuff like that, so they can't be empowered right away. You need to train them first. You need to be sure that okay, they are skilled enough to be empowered. Why might a business decide to empower its employees? Well, it will be helpful to help employees feel part of the organization. It increases motivation, self-esteem, and commitment of employees. So if you feel like you're a part of the organization, okay, of course you'll feel like a family. You'll try to give your best effort to return that favor that they have given to you. You are giving more authority as well, so like it increases overall motivation, self-esteem, and commitment of employees. So it's a very beneficial. It goes in line with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Higher needs, basically your self-esteem and self-actualization needs, and Herzberg's intrinsic motivators. So overall, these motivators agree with empowerment, and this should be given as it's a great non-financial motivator, as it increases your motivation. These needs, your higher needs are being satisfied, so you're motivated and your productivity increases. It also helps to generate new ideas which might benefit the business. So it's not just beneficial for the employee that their motivation and their self needs are being taken care of. It's also beneficial for the employer, as employees can give better ideas, a new perspective to the business, which helps the business maybe in making new products. It also gives employees greater control over their lives, so higher needs of Maslow are being fulfilled, the same as this point you can say. It also helps to reduce absenteeism and labor turnover, as well as attract high quality labor. So your labor is being like, your workforce is being retained. Okay, you are providing them with training, you are fulfilling their higher needs, so they are satisfied with their work, they are motivated and productive, and these workers do not just leave the organization on their labor turnover is reduced. Okay, these employees are being retained, they're not absent at work, they try to do their best, so absenteeism is reduced. And it also attracts high quality labor. So if the labor knows that okay, they provide some delegation authorities, they do empower their employees, so others also want empowerment. Those who seek employment they will also be attracted to this business, and hence you just basically attract high quality labor and recruit better or more skilled workforce. if you needed that, of course. Moving on, we have employee participation and team working, which we're going to talk about in next video and wrap up this motivation chapter. So thanks for watching, and